right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is not Battleship Brawlers. Instead, today we're taking a look at Beyond All Reason. In Beyond All Reason, it's a real-time strategy game, and up in the upper area here, we have our red team, and then down here in the lower area, we have our blue team. Now, this particular game was played as a 5v5. I was looking for some 8v8s, but this one ran a little bit longer, and I think it would probably be a good showcase. I don't have a good way to find like super nice replays for everybody yet, so we're just taking a shot in the dark here, and we're going to see if this one's any good. But yeah, as you can see, we have Atlas failed here. He's going to be the highest ranking player on the red team, so he gets the red color. And then down here in the bottom, we have Liu Bei, open skill of 25. This game uses open skill to kind of differentiate players. Open skill, I guess it's not like a perfect showcase of like how experienced the player is, but it's fairly good. I haven't really gotten a great grasp on the rank structure over here, but basically the higher the rank, you know, the longer they've been in the game. I can't remember if the Silvertail means they're new or Silvertail means they've got like over 1,000 hours or something like that. Yeah, good question. I think it means that they have a significant amount of experience, like over a certain amount of hours. But yeah, there's a couple different tech trees in this game. You have vehicles and you have bots. This is a vehicle that's just been made out of a vehicle lab. It's called a Blitz. It deals some damage. There's also two different resources. You've got metal and you've got energy. Each unit costs different amounts of metal and energy. You can see we've got a couple different vehicle players getting into battle here. Gonna be our red and blue commanders. Oh yeah, the players are called commanders in this game. The commander deals a bunch of damage, but if you lose all the commanders, you know, you lose the game. That is the win condition, is kill all the enemy commanders and don't lose your own. To generate power, there's a couple different ways to do it. It looks like the optimal way to do it on this map, because of the wind speed, you can see the wind speed up here in the upper area. I was going to say the upper right hand corner, but it's kind of just in the upper panel. These wind turbines produce power based off of this wind speed up here. You can see the energy for our blue player skyrocketing upward, and then these metal extractors here get put on these metal spots. You can only have one per, and they pull up whatever amount of metal that particular metal spot can pull up per second, right? And then you use that metal to build things and try to climb higher in the tech tree. This is a T1 vehicle lab, you can see down in the bottom left. And then later on, he's going to try to make the tech transition to a T2 lab, but it takes a lot of resources, and so if you do it too early, you kind of, you know, put yourself in a bad position. It looks like Atlas failed is coming up here to try and absorb some of this wreckage. So every time you'll see people get into fights, there's a chance for the bots or vehicles to drop like a scrap, a wreckage, and leave it behind to be picked up. So a big portion of this game is just picking up the scrap that your enemy has left behind, right? And a lot of times over here in the back, one of these players will be like the economy player, so somebody's going to be trying to jump up in the skill tree a lot quicker than, you know, others. There's also a naval side to this game. We can see Duick Maniac over here trying to, you know, fend off these. Are these gunboats? I don't know what these are. Yeah, light gunboats made by the purple player. He's got quite a bit over here ready to get in there, so I think our orange player is going to have his work cut out for him trying to get it. These are LLTs, so static defenses that are set up, and this is a radar tower. You can see the vision that it gives you is pretty substantial, but as you can see, like if there's a mountain in the way, it does actually block vision, which I think is a pretty cool mechanic in this game. So like if you had a couple units and you hid them right here, it would not be perceptible, which is pretty neat. You can also build radar jammers that cover a certain area and protect your forces from being seen. I wish I knew how to turn off being able to see things. Here we go. Let's do player view from the red player. So you can see, they can tell that there's like something here where this blue dot is, but they can't tell exactly what it is. But it is moving, so you know it's some kind of unit. And he's physically seen these before, so it shows you that they're still there, right? We'll go back to the overall view. And yeah, there's fog of war in this game, so you can't tell what the enemy player is going to be doing. It looks like our turquoise player is harassing our yellow player over here. This is a torpedo launcher. He's trying to repair it, but he's not able to out-repair the damage of this destroyer. I feel like this is pretty early to have a destroyer out in this game. Destroyers are pretty good. They, I think, are the only ones, or not the only ones, they're one of the few ships that can fire underwater at like submarines and such. The commanders in this game also have what they call a D-gun. It's like a disintegrator cannon, and it can one-shot anything in the game, but it like travels in a straight line towards wherever you shoot it, right? And it has a very limited range, so you have to be fairly close for that to work, and it costs a certain amount of energy. I can't remember exactly how much off the top of my head, but it's a pretty decent chunk of energy. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't tell me, unfortunately. And I think that's what this green radius is. I haven't figured out what all of these radii are for. These are rocket bots. They're pretty good for breaking a siege, or breaking a siege. They're good for making a siege, not breaking a siege. As you can see, that stationary static defense gets taken out by the rocket bots fairly quickly. These are thugs. They're like the heavier version of the grunt, pretty much. They're a little bit more expensive, a little more sturdy, and they deal a bit more damage. So they're kind of the gold standard a lot of the time. He was building bots, but it looks like he's switched into vehicles, which is an interesting transition. He's choosing to make these missile trucks. I've heard that the missile trucks have gotten a bit of a buff recently, so maybe that is the move. He's making a heavy laser tower here. I'm not sure. I hear that they're not like really worth making a lot of times, the heavy laser towers, or HLTs as they're otherwise known. Here's one that's set up. Yeah. You can see the commanders can walk in the water. They cannot fire their disintegrator cannon in the water. I think it blows up the water around them, or else it just doesn't let you fire it or something. Oh, here we go. Our orange player is getting in and dealing some damage to our purple player. It was looking pretty rough for our purple player in the beginning, but now, you know, or really rough for our orange player in the beginning, but now it's looking pretty good for him. He's pushed the purple player all the way back, and he is, yeah, cleaning up those wreckages with this resurrection sub. I'd say our red team looks like they're doing really well. You can see here's the scrap I was talking about earlier. You can resurrect these if you bring in res bots. It just takes a certain amount of time and energy to do so. And so it can leave you kind of vulnerable while you're doing that. But it doesn't cost any metal, so if you want like a bunch of free units off of the ground and you have enough energy to spare, you can build an entire army from the wreckage of your opponent here. Oh, there was a commander destroyed. I missed where that was. Is that over here? It doesn't appear to be. We've got the res subs over here repairing the navy on the field. Yeah, I missed where that commander got exploded. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So it looks like our, I guess, hot pink. Yeah, our like hot pink purplish. Well, no, we have purple. So yeah, hot pink player got destroyed. And when the commander gets destroyed, it can deform the terrain below it, and you can see the water's building up there. But also, they drop, I think it's 1.25k metal, which is a, you know, a pretty decent chunk of change, especially in the beginning of the game. And So when you kill the enemy, a lot of times you can quickly make it through like a T2 transition if you can absorb their corpse, which just happened with all these red res bots and the commander earlier. So now he's going into a T2 bot lab. Yeah, and he's going to start sacrificing his T1 vehicle lab. As you can see, he ate it with the res bots here to continue building. You can see his metal is dropping as he's dumping it into this T2 bot lab. But that's going to put him significantly ahead of everyone else. I missed that commander going up, but it looks like the purple commander was destroyed, and this res sub is going to go ahead and clean up his corpse. Rough day for the purple commander. The orange commanders managed to push him all the way back. So yeah, it looks like the Navy is pretty much won for the red team, especially on this eastern side. The western side looks pretty well dominated by the turquoise commander, though, so I guess it's really just a race to see who can get maybe some amphibious units up onto the shore, or at least get their navy up hugging this coastline and bombarding into the actual land-based fight. What is this? No. Yeah, it's a lasher, a missile truck. So yeah, the blue player, the green player is making a bunch of missile trucks and taking them up to the front. There's also this middle lane, but it seems to be pretty unpopular to go through the middle lane. I can see why. I mean, you have to build amphibious units, which are significantly more expensive than their normal counterparts. But here we go. We're moving into the T2 transition. This is a Sheldon. It's a mobile mortar bot, and it's like artillery. If you build up Sheldon in big enough numbers, you can pretty much kite and destroy anything from a distance. Right now he's only got 3, which isn't going to be a whole lot, but it is going to be a whole lot more useful than all these T1 bots. These are maces. They're kind of like the thugs that I was telling you about earlier, kind of showcasing. What are these? Oh yeah, Rocketeers. These are the missile bots. But here we go. See how far those Sheldon can shoot? I think they have one of the longest ranges in the game. Let's go ahead and click on one and figure out what the range is exactly. We can see all the details down here. A range of 850, which is pretty massive. Out here, like this boat has a range of 710, so the mobile mortar bot is a very long range. But yeah, our purple player, our hot pink player, is still on a T1 economy. Meanwhile, our turquoise, or our baby blue turquoise-ish player has moved into, you know, the T2 economy. That doesn't mean that you can, you know, just overstretch yourself into the enemy. As you can see, he's still taking a bit of damage, but manages to keep most of the Sheldon for now, so I'd say he's still coming out ahead. It's not producing anything, though. This is a build turret. It can't, like, start building anything on its own, but say if a lab starts building something like this fiend here, then it can help do that as well to help build it faster. And I think they have a build power of, what, 200? Yeah, build power of 200, so it's a fair amount. Oh, snap. Atlas failed his come around. I didn't even see that. He snuck around from the back and is destroying the blue player with the disintegrator cannon that I was talking about earlier. That is really not ideal. It looks like he's taken out the lab and everything in this area, and he's still going on a rampage. The green player is trying to catch up with his missile trucks, which he should be able to do, but the question is, will he manage to take out Atlas before he gets to the tech lab here and destroys it? Ooh, it's gonna be really close. I think he's gonna take out the lab. Oh, he needs to fire the D-gun. He might not have enough energy. Oh, yeah, I forgot when the commander explodes, it takes everything with it, so all he had to do was get close enough. I'd say that was a pretty good trade for leaving behind 1.25k resources. But even with that pretty marked success. The blue player here, the light blue player, still pushing forward. We can see a resurrection going on, or not resurrection. No, yeah, resurrection. You can see the units have these little halos above them. The little halo means that they've been resurrected. But these are like T1 units. I don't know that I would be picking up that many T1 units, like risking my res bots doing that. It's probably just more effective to absorb all of that metal and turn it into tier 2 units, which are a lot more effective. But as we can see, the orange player is pushing onto land with these pincers, these light amphibious tanks that he's made just offshore. And he's taking out what is left of the blue team. It looks like a lot of our blue players have resigned and left the game, leaving just 3 players against the 5. Happens a lot in the Beyond All Reason community. They see, you know, they're losing, and they'll just abandon ship. It's fairly normal. I was trying to set up a geothermal here. I think that that is not gonna happen. I think that's a waste of resources at the moment, with these amphibious tanks being so close to taking everything out. How close are we to being finished with this match? I don't have a timer with me at the moment, but I think I think we're coming up pretty close on the end here. Let's look at these turtles, heavy amphibious tanks. I've actually never seen the turtles before. This is exciting. I've been watching a lot of Beyond All Reason in my spare time over the past couple of years, so I know quite a bit about the game, even though I don't know how to play the game very well. I think I've played like 1 game when I had time, but that 1 game does not a Beyond All Reason champion make. There we go. He takes out one of the turtles. 2 of the turtles with the disintegrator cannon. Can he get 3? Can he go 3 for 3? He's not going to be able to do that, but he is taking out the turtle with the rest of his units. There we go. I did manage to click on the turtle, so if you guys wanted to know the stats, it was down here in the left-hand corner if you want to go back. Yeah, I should have read the stats before it went away. Let's go ahead and take a look at this amphibious vehicle lab. Oh wait, no, this is a seaplane platform, so he looks like he's transitioned. Oh, here's the amphibious complex down here under the water. That's kind of cool. You can build this on land or underwater, as far as I know. The seaplanes, I guess, are pretty good. They they pack a little bit more of a punch than the regular planes do. Oh, these are ticks, so they're very small, kind of scout units. And what he's doing right now is, they call it a spam, so he's a spam lab. He's just spamming these out as fast as possible and pushing them through the front line. A lot of times you'll do that to gain vision of an area, but like, for example, these ticks are actually accomplishing something, these light blue ones, because they're giving vision to these Sheldon, where... So, like, the Fog of War has a funky effect in this game, where you don't get to see exactly where the unit is. It just tells you the approximate location. And that can be improved with a funky building called pinpointers that puts the... If you build 3 of them, you pretty much have perfect accuracy, but your accuracy increases with each continuous pinpointer you build. But until you have pinpointers built, you can use ticks, a spam of ticks, to go forward and scout where things are, because when you can see an enemy with a unit, you do get the exact location and not the approximate location. So that's what these ticks are being used for over here. It looks like our red team, yeah, our red team is doing significantly better than our blue team. I thought our blue team was doing well earlier. I'd say that the red team is significantly ahead. This guy, so these are energy converters. They convert 70 energy into 1 metal. Oh, there we go. All the commanders down here self-destructed, and that concludes our video today on Beyond All Reason. If you guys want to see more Beyond All Reason on this channel, please let me know down in the comments, and I will be happy to oblige.